Hello dear students, this is Vishal Sir from Ikra High School. Today we are going to continue part 3 for chapter 1 from subject science standard 10th. Our today's topic begins with the new title displacement reaction. Let's go through the activity to understand displacement reaction nicely. Activity 1.9. Take 3 iron nails and clean them by rubbing with sandpaper. Take 2 test tubes marked as A and B. In each test tube, take about 10 ml copper sulfate solution. Tie 2 iron nails with a thread and immerse them carefully in the copper sulfate solution in a test tube B for about 20 minutes. Keep one nail aside for comparison. After 20 minutes, take out the iron nails from the copper sulfate solution. Compare the intensity of the blue color of the copper sulfate solution in the test tube A and B. Also compare the color of the iron nails dipped in the copper sulfate solution with the one kept aside. So dear students, our observation would be something like this. The iron nail that was kept in a copper sulfate solution became brownish in color, and the blue color of copper sulfate, it faded away. You can see here in diagram B, you can see the second test tube with faded blue color. What happened over here? Why did both of them change their color? Let's go through the reaction first. Here you can see iron, when reacts with copper sulfate solution, becomes iron sulfate, and the ions of copper are released. So here there were two metals, iron and copper. Now between both these two metals, iron was slightly more reactive than copper, which displaced copper from its compound and it became iron sulfate solution, while the displaced copper now was acting as a copper element. This, what you saw over here, is called displacement reaction. Let's see some more examples of displacement reactions. Zinc, when reacted in copper sulfate solution, it becomes zinc sulfate and copper is released. In the same manner, lead, when reacted with copper chloride solution, lead chloride becomes a compound and copper is released. Here in all the three reaction, iron, zinc and lead, all the three metals are more reactive than copper. So in a displacement reaction, the more reactive metal displaces the least reactive metal. Here, the least reactive metal was copper. Zinc and lead are more reactive than copper. They displace copper from its compound. Now with the same name, we have another topic, double displacement reaction. Let's go through activity 1.10. Take about 3 ml of sodium sulfate solution in the test tube. Take another test tube. Take about 3 ml of barium chloride solution. Mix the two solutions. We will observe that a white substance which is insoluble in water is formed. This insoluble substance formed is known as precipitate. Now any reaction that produces precipitate can also be called precipitation reaction. But here we are going to study about double displacement reaction. What you saw here was when sodium sulfate solution was mixed with barium chloride solution, it formed two new products, barium sulfate and sodium chloride, where sodium was displaced by barium and barium was displaced by sodium. So in double displacement reaction, the exchange of ions takes place. Not the high reactive metal and the low reactive metal, just like that we studied in displacement reaction. Here, the exchange of ion takes place and that makes the reaction double displacement reaction. The white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed by the reaction of sulfate and barium. The other product formed is sodium chloride which remains in the solution. Such reaction in which there is an exchange of ion between the reactant is called double displacement reaction. Now we shall proceed further with a new reaction, oxidation and reduction. Activity 1.11. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram of copper powder. What do we observe? The surface of copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. This is because oxygen is added to copper and it becomes copper oxide. So here you can see the chemical reaction. When copper heated, it becomes copper oxide. Now what happens when hydrogen gas is passed over it? If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, the black coating on the surface turns brown as a reverse reaction takes place. And again we obtain copper. So if a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. If a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. So in both the reaction you saw that in one reaction oxygen was added, in the other reaction oxygen was removed. So during this reaction the copper oxide is losing oxygen and this is called reduced copper oxide. The hydrogen is gaining oxygen and hydrogen is being oxidized. So in other words, we can say that one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Here in this reaction you saw copper was having oxygen, but when hydrogen was added to copper, copper became just simple copper ion and hydrogen received oxygen and became water. So when both the reaction takes place in the same reaction, such reactions are called oxidation reduction reaction or redox reaction. Some other examples of redox reaction are zinc oxide. When reacted with carbon, zinc becomes a metal while carbon oxidizes itself. Manganese oxide, when reacted with hydrochloric acid, it becomes manganese chloride and water becomes oxidized. So in reaction 1.31, carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide and zinc oxide is reduced to zinc. In reaction 1.32, hydrochloric acid is oxidized to chlorine while manganese oxide is reduced to manganese chloride. So we come to a conclusion that if a substance gains oxygen or loses hydrogen during a reaction, it is called oxidation. While on the contrary, if a substance loses oxygen or gains hydrogen, it is called reduction. Now let's go through some examples in our practical life. Corrosion is one such example where you can see the oxidation of different metals. You must have observed that iron articles are shiny when new but gets coated with reddish brown powder when left for some time. This process is commonly known as rusting of iron. Some other metals also get tarnished in this manner. When a metal is attacked by a substance around it such as moisture, acid, etc., it is said to corrode and this process is called corrosion. The black coating on silver and green coating on copper are other examples of corrosion. So corrosion is nothing else but the oxidation of that respective metal. The oxidation occurs due to the moisture or acid when it reacts with the metal. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and to all objects made of metal. Corrosion of iron is a serious problem. Every year, an enormous amount of money is spent to replace damaged iron. The next practical example of oxidation is rancidity. Have you ever tasted or smelled the fat or oil containing food material left for a long time? When fat and oil are oxidized, they become rancid and their smell and taste change. Usually, substances which prevent oxidation or what we call antioxidants are added to food containing fat and oil. Keeping food in airtight container help to slow down oxidation. Do you know that chip manufacturers usually flush bag of chips with gas, such as nitrogen, to prevent the chips from getting oxidized? So these are the two practical examples of oxidation. When any metal is oxidized with moisture and acid around it, it gets corroded. While the food material that contains fat and oil gets rancid due to the oxidation of that fats. Their smell and taste changes. So most probably, to preserve the food for a very long time, the food materials are packed with nitrogen gas to prevent the food substance to become rancid.